want to grow as a grower? Are you tired of being put to sleep by your educational growcasts? Are you tired of hearing about products you don't fucking want and can't afford? Are you tired of being told how you should grow? Hi, I'm Johnny Apple, and joining me is everyone's favorite amphibian, the Reverend Pirate Frog. Join us as we sift through the bullshit on the internet and try to get better as growers. This is your average grow.
Hey, dude.
Hey, man. So we brought in Sky from New York, and now we're bringing Stir Fry from New Mexico. What's up,
Ooh,
buddy? How are you?
I like that.
Good guys, how you guys doing this evening?
Oh, fantastic. We're excited to have you. We
Good
picked
as always.
seemed to pick a perfect time too as you're transplanting into outdoors. So we're super excited to touch on that later. But we just want to thank you for joining us first.
Oh,
What are you smoking on there? Out we can see you with your mega
oh.
joint.
I'm
Jesus.
just smoking some of my outdoor. I did a mix of the PTK, which is Pine Tar Kush from CSI Humboldt, and then a little bit of Zakoto Pebbles, which is a cross of Zakoto from Raw, and then Cookie Pebbles from Green Team, I think. And that was a tester from Loose Cannon Genetics. Um, I'm a staff member with Secret Selections, and we are under Raw Genetics pretty much. And we are pretty much a group of testers that help out breeders and um, everybody from up and coming to well known, like Umami, uh, Raw. We have Loose Cannon. We have who else? Um, Hold on one second. So we have
So,
Dragon Flame Genetics, Green Hand Genetics, Legendary Genetics, Locomotive Medical, uh, Sanguine Seeds, Soji Collect, and Wallapini, and Zephyr. So
right
those are
on.
just a couple of breeders that we work with.
Damn, dude.
Just a couple list 27,000. That's awesome. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. We dig the outdoor knowledge. That's why we've come to you. Last year's like the pictures alone were such a great journey. I can only imagine that being on the receiving end of the final product is much better. Uh, but what was your favorite from what you grew last year?
So probably the one that I keep opening the jar is I want to say the Embers #5, which is Cheetah Piss crossed with Lushies, and has a real strawberry nose to it, leaning more on the Lushy side. But the other phenos are definitely more of the Cheetah Piss leaning, more of the limey or lemon kind of like a lot of limonene, beta caryophyllene, and then myrcene definitely. But it helps with my back pain. But
Awesome. Right
definitely.
on. Well, before we go further, I guess it would be that was a insider knowledge question. But Johnny, let's get everybody caught up on who he is. If you want to dive into it.
Yeah, man. Why don't you? I mean, you're out here talking about melamine and fucking styrofoam and shit I've never even heard about. You're throwing me for a loop here. Why don't you bring us back to the beginning, man? When did you get started with cannabis? How'd you start partaking? How'd you start growing? Bring us back some.
All right. So actually, growing up, I grew up in California, Ventura, California, and
Yeah, yeah.
next to the beach. And pretty much I didn't start. I smoked for the first time when I was 12. I was in like sixth grade, and I actually was with two of my buddies, and we were near the beach, and they were smoking on some super silver haze, and uh, I tried to be a cool kid and ripped the ball all crazy and ended up paranoid and hallucinating and scared me,
Jeez.
scared the bejesus out of me. But
Oh man.
yeah, no, it was pretty crazy. I was like, I lost perception of time and everything for a little bit. It was like a couple hours, but it scared me away from cannabis for a couple of years. I ended up going through high school and everything, and I ended up getting into pills and opiates and stuff like that. And right now, I'm a recovering addict. Been clean for about 7 years. Um,
Right on. Congratulations, man.
Congratulations, man. That's huge.
and cannabis is what helped me get off of it. I moved from California to New Mexico and got clean cold turkey. And with the help of cannabis, I was able to feel better within less than a week. After that, all I wanted to do was grow it. So let me take it back a little bit. So back in high school, I didn't smoke, but I'd hustle a lot. So I was just moving bud, and pretty much I when I was 15, that was the first time I ever popped a seed, and I had a landscaping class, and it was also like a horticultural class where we had like a a school garden and stuff where we would take care of it and harvest a bunch of stuff and donate it to like local churches and stuff like that. So, and I was in that class for about 3 years, from freshman until I was a junior, and then I ended up being a teacher's aide in that class for my senior year. But um,
It's a
pretty
dope
much,
class.
yeah,
Hell
no.
yeah.
And my teacher was pretty crazy. His name was Mr. Moreno, and he was like all against Monsanto and everything like
Right.
that.
By crazy you mean right.
Oh yeah, no, he was definitely right in the end. But no, so that was when I first started popping seeds, and I would just give people plants and sell plants and stuff at school, and that's how I started interacting with cannabis after my experience and everything was hallucinating. And but anyways, once I got to New Mexico, I got clean and everything started growing. I was living with my aunt at the time, and then I met my wife, moved up here, and been here ever since. But I've been growing the whole time, trying to learn as much as possible about organics and living soil, and in the beginning I started with salts, and as I progressed I started learning more and more about the soil and how everything revolves around biology and microbes and all the decomposers and everything like that. And it
All the
really
fun
interested me.
cycles. Yeah. The cycles are fun, man.
Hell yeah. It's super interesting.
I wanted to commend you on two things that I forgot. Your red beard. I know we've talked about it before. He's a fellow ginger beard, which is obviously amazing, and uh, congrats on the switch to organic. But it's always really great talking to you too, because you do so many plants, and you can tell that you have such a love for just growing in general, because you grow a lot of other stuff too. I know you and Kotz have talked a lot about some cactus and some other stuff too.
Oh yeah, let me show you the cactus. Look at this. So I grow
Wow.
Oh, holy cow.
different kinds, but my favorite is Trichocereus, which is the San Pedro cactus. It's used in South America, comes from the Andes. The curanderos or the shamans would use them. They do contain mescaline, but I do not partake. I just enjoy growing them. But
They're friggin'
yeah,
beautiful.
I got all my seedlings I just transplanted yesterday. I got to transplant a couple more today, but Yeah, just getting ready for the season. Today was 73 degrees. It was the warmest
Right.
day since last year, so it feels good.
Awesome.
So tell us a little bit about that. You just transplanted from solo cups into 1 gallons?
So I started direct sow into little square. They're like 3 inch or 4 inch square pots, the little white ones. I like to get the white ones because then it doesn't really heat the root zone up as much. I know starting inside it doesn't really matter, but once you get outside, I like to get into once you go from either the little square pots or you can also do. I've also done um solo cups as well. That's what I did last year. I started like 72 seedlings in the third week of March outside, which wasn't the smartest idea. Didn't warm up for another 3 weeks and kind of slowed them down. It was okay. I was able to sex them and get them up into 1 gallons eventually, but I like to kind of get them root bound so that they show sex earlier.
Smart.
What about being root bound causes them? Can you answer that?
Um,
Is it just the shock that stresses the males to show?
Well, so males tend to show earlier. They wanna get. They generally tend to be the most vigorous, beautiful looking one. It's that one that you think, oh man, this is gonna be the one, and then it ends up showing male, and you're like, damn.
Yep.
But generally, they're the first to show, and they tend to be a little bit taller or lankier because they need to get up above the females to be able to drop pollen all over them. So, but
Right, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, they want to be up and in, throwing that pollen around way before fucking.
way before the female.
Yeah, nice man. So what do you got going this year then? What do you? I just saw a whole bunch of plants there. How many you got, and what are you putting outside? Are you running them all outside? Do you run them in a greenhouse? Do you run them in the open?
So I started them inside in my little tent. I got a little 2 by 4 by 5 tent from the homie Cots. We
Shout
did
out Cots.
Yeah, we did a bean trade, and he hooked me up, and I hooked him up with some hard to find landrace stuff. And both were
Awesome.
pretty happy on the deal. So, and then I also have a HLG 150 Patriot in the tent with AC Infinity exhaust, I think it's 4 inch, and it came with the 69 Pro and everything. I got the
Right.
controller too. But this is my first time dealing with indoors, and I also have the oscillating fan as well.
How you
But
liking it?
I like it. It works really well. Like here in New Mexico, it tends to be super dry. So I mean, I need to be on more of the higher humidity side, anyways. So having the controller works great. Being able to dial in that humidity and temperature, because the temperature generally stays around 78 to 75 during the lights on period, and it'll drop to like 60, 60, or no, like about 65 to 68.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a 10-degree variance in temperature, but from what I've heard, you can actually change the well, not, oh yeah, I guess kind of the stretch of like if you keep the nighttime temperatures at the same or near the same, they won't stretch as much. But that's just could be some bro science.
I haven't.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't heard that, but wouldn't surprise me if there's some science to something. I mean, who knows?
But yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
awesome. So like Johnny was asking, what do you have anything exciting, like you're extremely excited for, on
oh
top of
man,
what else you're planting?
I got so much going on right now. Like I got some Nepalese Highland going. I got a Cuban Black Haze. It's a BX2 and then inbred. And then I got some Tushurgan Afghanis. and Super Silver Haze by TKN05 Haze from AK Bean Brands. Asian Beauty, which is a Vietnamese Black by Louis Han, which is V Black by Neville's Haze. And then I also got some Black Tooth Grin by GMO Root Beer, which is going to be really nice. That one came from CBF, or CA, yeah, CBF, Cedar Berry Farms. He's retired now, but he was up in Colorado. Um, and what else? I'm also going to be planting some side splitter from Blessed Coast Genetics. I also have Deep Chunk, X18, and then Pine Tar Kush, all from Tom Hill. Um, PTK, I did an open pollination last year, made a couple seeds to look through this year, and
Right on.
made a bunch of crosses last year as well. But I like to go from indoors. I'll keep them in the pots until I start seeing a good amount of root growth in the pot, in the 4 inch or the solo. And then after that, I transfer them outside into my little foyer area, which isn't heated or anything, but it gets pretty cool at night. But it allows them to harden off a little bit before I throw them straight. I have this little greenhouse right here.
Right on.
So I put him in this little greenhouse I got. I think it's a 4x4 greenhouse. Or, yeah, it looks like a 4x4 greenhouse. And then I just bought a new 10 by 8 by 20 greenhouse that I gotta put up back here, my raised bed. But anyways, so yeah, I go from the 4 inch to 1 gallon, and then from 1 gallon I'll either go to a 5 or into my raised bed.
Right on.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a
I
beautiful,
got
beautiful.
chickens and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen you post your pictures of your chickens and your. I think you got pit bulls, right?
Yeah, I have 3 pits. They're all from the same family. Two are from the first litter, Max or Marley and Junior, and then the second litter was Max. And then we have another smaller dog. His name is Jax, but he's a Chow pit mix.
How cool.
Right on, man.
You got a
So,
you got a little slice of heaven and paradise right there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty nice. That's the
That's
one.
nice.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty decent.
other than cannabis outside, what do you grow any other than cannabis and cactus? Do you grow any fruits, vegetables?
Oh, so I have a little 4x4 bed that I made in the front yard next to a small greenhouse. And it has onions, Egyptian onions, and then also the Lipson onions. And then I also have some garlic. I have hops, tomatillos,
Nice.
alpine strawberries, which are native to where I live at. And then
No shit.
That's really cool.
I also like to grow like different like chilies and sunflowers. I grow a lot of grains for both cover crop and feed the chickens. Also, I have a rabbit and a cat.
And a
Nice.
cat.
A cat.
Yeah, a cat. Well, I used to have 6 cats.
Good God, sir. 6?
Yeah, six. Crazy.
That's 6 too many for a dude.
Six, 6 cats and 5 dogs at one point, and I had 30 chickens and 20 rabbits.
Good God. Were you
Holy
building
fuck,
an
dude.
ark at the same time?
Pretty much. I was going
Building
broke.
a
I had to get
shit.
rid of some.
I was gonna say your grocery bill for would have been nothing in comparison to what you were paying for those animals, dude.
The animals eat way better than I do.
Yeah, so do the plants.
Yeah, they eat
Always.
all organic waste.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to touch base on that. I know that you're teaching a class on organics soon. Um, so we'll give you the shout out and date here and then again. But what got you into organics after going from salts? Just more learning, just getting in depth and going, damn, this is pretty straightforward.
Well, so the class, um, the class that I took in high school actually was what got me into growing. And
Oh, of
then
course.
as soon as I started growing a lot more, once I came out to New Mexico, I tried doing the whole cocoa and salts thing, and I was using Fox Farm, and which was probably not the best, but um, because their nutrients tends to be a little bit off. But that's why they tend to ask, or they tend to tell you to flush every 2 weeks or whatever, depending on the nutrient type, but or the brand or whatever. But so yeah, I did that, and I didn't really come out with the best product. And then as as I collected the animals, like the chickens and the rabbits, I started making my own compost,
Mm-hmm.
and from that, I figured what would be the easiest way and the least amount of issues, and it came to organics. Like, I mean,
Yeah, lazy man's way.
yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely.
But that's awesome. So you get rabbit and chicken, and then you turn that. Do you heat it? You heat it up first before you mix it into your compost, obviously, right? With the chicken.
So whenever I started first doing the chicken and the rabbit thing, I started collecting a bunch of manure, of course, and bedding and all that, and I had built a little compost like bin area where out of pallets, and I even
Mm-hmm.
built my chicken coop out of reclaimed wood from the dump. Like
Oh, how dope!
I didn't pay for anything but the screws, and but so whenever I started doing that, I had to cut down a bunch of weeds and stuff in my area back there. So I used that to start the compost, and I ended up using horse manure as well
Oh, awesome.
to in the beginning, and then I started collecting all the manure from the chickens and the rabbits. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, I started adding like straw. And I would actually go to like natural grocers and go get like their all the coal stuff that they throw out, pretty much all the
Mm-hmm.
good
Yeah,
vegetables,
the
all
stuff
of
they
the
can't
good.
use.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the stuff that just has like bruises or is misshapen or whatever. I give that to the chickens and the rabbit, and then I'd also add that to the compost. And then I also added straw, alfalfa. Um, what else? I would add like native soil. Um,
Oh,
just
that sounds awesome.
whatever kind of like leaf mold or anything that I could find, I pretty much was thrown in there.
That's
Anything of
awesome.
organic origin is going in there. There are some things that you don't want to put in there, like onions, chilies,
Mm-hmm.
citrus, salt, sugar, meat, anything like that. You don't want to put that in there because they can either attract pests or animals, or it can contain pathogens. So, I mean, that's why you compost manure for a good amount of time. You want it to heat up before, especially because the chicken poo is so full of nitrogen because their
Mm-hmm.
poo and their urine is together. There's a real high amount of nitrogen in there, so it tends to be really hot. That's why I like to mix it with aspen bedding. I've also used hemp, and I've also used pine as well as beddings. I prefer the aspen and the hemp. The pine has the aromatics in there, like all the resins and everything, so it tends to be antimicrobial.
Oh, that's awesome.
Same thing with cedar. That's why you have cedar posts and cedar fencing, because it has the oils and the resins and all the different terpenes and oils and stuff, and keeps it from rotting.
How awesome, man! That
That's so
sounds like a
fucking sick.
Yeah, it sounds like a wonderful compost. Holy shit, dude!
How are
Awesome.
you doing it? You got like just like a pile sitting there? Or you got a fence or like pallet woods?
He said he built it. He
Fr-
used reclaimed pallets.
Yeah,
okay.
so I got pallets, and then I just I have them open on the front, and I'll have like I have these loose pallets on the front, but the rest is all screwed together.
Oh,
You can
perfect.
see
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's like a separated. It's like a perfect separated compost system that you can move between different stages and stuff.
exactly.
It's
I
good.
eventually want to. I have this little area, so I have an electric fence around my chicken area, and then there's a chicken wire, 6 foot chicken wire fence around the actual chicken run, and I have aviary netting above. But I let the chickens come out here and get all the weeds and all the bugs and everything out. And I used to add straw and alfalfa into their run area, so they would mix it with the manure and the dirt and everything. I would rake all that up and then throw that into the compost pile, and then it heats it up real nice. It starts getting all that biological activity going, and you really there's I mean there's two different ways that you can do it. You can do it thermophilically or mesophilically, which means you're doing it slowly. So one has high temperatures and the other one is just pretty much a cold compost. So I like to cold compost, but during the summer I'll mix it and get it going. Um, but during the winter I just let it sit because it stuff freezes solid out here during the winter. But yeah, it's not too bad. But
Nice. So it's just the regular compost pile. Do you do any worm composting or?
so actually I do have those like tumbler um
Hmm.
composters that you can get. Like sometimes your county will even give them out in spring. They do up here anyways. So. But
That's cool.
yeah, no, it's pretty nice. But so I actually have a tumbler full of like chicken scrap or not kitchen scraps, and then also I actually whenever I was using hemp bedding for my rabbit, I was putting that in there as well, so the worms could eat that, and
Right.
yeah, so I just let them chill in there. I don't really tumble it much. It's pretty much just a worm bin that's off the ground, so animals can't get into it pretty much.
Perfect.
We have raccoons and skunks and bears. I had to get the electric fence for my chickens because a bear got in there. Uh,
Good
but
God.
thanks to Fish and Game, they gave me a free electric fence. It's pretty nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Was it a black? Was it a black bear that got your chickens?
yeah.
Uh,
So it didn't get anything. They were all locked up in the coop, but
Oh, you
they,
just.
he got into the run and knocked two sides of the fence over.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I had to put
Yeah.
that back up, and then they brought me a fence like a week or two later. But since then, I haven't had any issues. I had some rabbits get attacked by a raccoon or something one time, which was kind of traumatic.
Oh, I can imagine.
Uh, yeah, no, it was crazy. But
Yeah,
no,
rabbits fucking scream.
oh
Yeah.
man, it was sad. I had to put one down. It was sad.
Oh, bummer.
The rest were okay though. There was just one
That's
that got kind of beat up. So, but
fucking
yeah,
raccoons. Trash bandits.
yeah. But
Fucking a.
But
what do
that's
you
awesome.
guys?
So,
Oh,
what,
how are you? Huh?
what was that?
Oh, how are you? How are your guys' gardens doing?
Oh, they're fantastic, but everybody's tired of hearing them, so we actually have more questions for you. Don't try and get out of them. So when you took down your last harvest, when was the final day that you were done trimming? Because you must have trimmed for what to me feels like 6 months. Because every time you were talking, you were like, "Yep, just trimming this."
I'm still trimming. What are you talking about?
We've gone
Hey,
almost a full
Bro.
year.
I'm still trimming. I
Yeah.
got like 6 turkey bags of like stuff. Like,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
no, it was a crazy.
Fuck.
This is like one of my largest harvests. Like,
It was beautiful, man. I mean, I know that you have a Discord server, and I know that there's you hop into ours and there's pictures, but and cultivation conversation. But some of the stuff you were throwing up, I mean, you just had what looked like beds and beds full of just beautiful plants.
oh yeah. So I had 9 plants in the raised bed, and then I ran like 4 autos, and then uh, another 9 plants and 5 gals. So what is that? 9, 9, 4 is 22. And then I had planted the Super Freak as well, and then a couple other. So I probably took down about 27 plants,
Good God,
all in all. Yeah,
not
no,
bad at all.
yeah, I did it all by myself.
There you go.
I'm trimming
And
by
you're
myself
still
Impressive.
too.
trimming.
Yeah, and he's still trimming. I was gonna say
Yeah.
maybe get some help on the trimming one time. We'll fly Johnny out to help you.
So when
Um,
are you gonna run out? About October, I take it
October.
next.
I'll have I'll have stuff until like next harvest. But I also got like two autos going right now, and then I have all these plants, all the seedlings that I'm transplanting. I still have like 7 seedlings upstairs in the tent that I need to transplant, and then I have the 4 in the garage that I need to do once we're done. Because every time I go in there, I lose service. So,
Yeah. So we
but
appreciate you staying out for at least now. But how do you keep track of all of these plants, man? I'm impressed. It's a skill that not many have.
I don't have much else to do now.
Well, they're your babies.
No.
You love them.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. There's just like a connection to the plant that I don't know, because I don't have children. I'm gonna be 27 on the 29th, and
You've got time.
yeah. So, but I don't know. Just seeing the plants grow and as they change, it's like I don't know. I just love
You just
being
fell in
able.
love with the process. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just
definitely.
it's absolutely. It's funny. There's often you'll run into you know some people that grow just because they just want the medicine, and that's great. And then every once in a while you run into a dude who will just plant a seed a minute if he can because he just loves the hobby and growing so much. And you are definitely the latter of those two, because every time I see you, you're like, yeah, got this going, and it's just exciting. It always makes my day better because it's super exciting.
Well, I want people to be able to have access to these things. Because growing up,
Yeah,
even though I grew up in SoCal, it's like, or it's like Central California, technically. But it's
yeah,
about
yeah.
90 minutes north of LA.
It's more southern than Sacramento and all that area. So you
Well,
if you're
no,
gonna
like
go if you're going
Bakersfield.
south, I know, don't talk to me. No one wants to
Bakersfield
claim
is,
it.
oh my
The
gosh.
problem
Don't
is if we
don't even get
if
me
so
started on Bakersfield.
I know, but the problem is if we start claiming like Ventura and all the cool places, then we also got to claim like Bakersfield and
Yeah, but
Baker and places like
yeah,
that.
but the best there is in Ventura.
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't argue. There's some spots that I agree, but I just can't. I can't go back to the SoCal committee and be like, "We got to take in Bakersfield." They just don't want it.
I know it's terrible, but
But yeah,
no, I just I want people to be able to experience the different land race and different old school genetics. I want to do a lot of preservation.
Yeah,
I'll make crosses with new stuff as well, like half stuff and all that good stuff, but like cookies and
one.
OG of course. But
I know that you're a member of a lot of discords for preservation in general. Like that's the sole purpose. And I know you and Kotz and everyone at YAG. I know we've talked about open pollination stuff, but I really like to see and what got you into carrying so much I can't talk tonight. Jesus Christ, caring so much about preservation going forward because a lot of people do, but very few can say what you say. Where you I mean, almost every season you're creating thousands and thousands of seeds just to have for that line.
yeah, so last year I did the preservation with the pine tar kush, and then I also did the super freak. I did a little pollination. It was just 2 plants, just to make more seeds to look through. And also I made a auto to photo cross with the super freak, and then auto dosi dub from Locomotive Medical, which is a double grape cross to grape dosi bro. And
Wow.
it had really nice spirits, real grapey. But also I just wanted to like I'm a collector, you know? Like I collect cactus and I collect seeds and collect animals and I haven't collected any people yet, but um
So do you catalog your collection of seeds? Like, how in the fuck do you even begin to keep track? Like, you're taught the
oh dude,
Oompa Loompa Goomba.
I haven't even written down really the crosses I made. I have them all like together. I need to go through them and write them all down. But because I'm outdoor, I can only make seeds once a year, and then I send seeds out to people so that hopefully I can get some test results back. Because I can only grow so much and preserve as much as like I can,
The
like the
season
legal
allows
limit.
you. Yeah.
Well, like luckily New Mexico is nice because it's 6 per adult and 12 per household.
Oh,
So
right on.
I do have a decent limit, but fuck a plant count.
What
Amen.
was I didn't catch that. I didn't.
Yeah,
What
I
was
did.
that?
Oh, oh,
No, I'm just
sorry.
kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Shit. No, I
But
feel the same way. I got 12 fucking. I started 12 hella jellies, and our limit's the same, man. So fucking, it's ridiculous, especially like indoor. I mean, I could
yeah,
grow
no,
one in a
that's
4x4, or I
ridiculous.
can go nine in a four by
Yeah,
four.
it
It's fuck
doesn't make
like,
any sense. It's
yeah.
but
You can grow
like with
16.
yeah, like with almost every government regulation, it doesn't make sense because it was written by fools.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Or that it was written by someone who has absolutely no knowledge but refuses to accept that they have no knowledge because for some reason they got to win.
Yeah,
I mean, the fuck plant count is like,
It's
man,
asinine.
at least like establish indoor outdoor. I could see outdoor establishing a
maybe
plant
square
count. You don't want
footage.
everybody like, but even
Square
still,
footage
like
would be
square footage should be it. Yeah,
Square
that makes
footage.
a
Or
lot more sense.
let's go
because
logically
then
and
it prevents
eliminate.
large people from coming in because that's where California messed up. And
Yeah,
they, yeah, they just,
but I think what we should do, and I think the most logical and the only way to look at this is just don't put a fucking limit on how much of a plant you can grow because it's just a fucking natural plant.
the plant. Exactly.
There's no fucking limit on how much parsley you can grow. I mean, there should be because parsley's gross, but no, I'm just kidding. I mean,
Actually,
it's
parsley can cause phototoxicity. Like it can like to like animals, like chickens and rabbits, even people. If you eat too much parsley, you
there you
can
go.
get like really bad skin toxicity.
You heard it here first. Ban parsley. Fuck it, we're going the other way. Instead of
There's
legalize, we're
12
banning
there's 12
everything
year
else.
olds all over the nation hiding their parsley now, going fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now they're gonna have to lie. No, mom, it's not parsley. It's cannabis. But wasn't it supposed to be oregano? What was the other one? I don't know.
Oh yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, it is just ludicrous to ever tell someone what they can grow on their own property. But let's not get into that. Everyone knows how we feel. No one would learn anything new. Um, so when do you like? Do you usually always start around April, putting everything outside in New Mexico?
Yeah, so where I'm at, generally it doesn't warm up till April, May. Sometimes a couple years ago we got snow in June, so it was like, what the
Mm.
hell? But, but, so yeah, generally like May 1st or like after Mother's Day, you want to get stuff outside. But you can put stuff outside here until like June. Because like my plants like that I grew last year, the earliest one was the OYG number 5. Um, that one finished the third or yeah, the third week of September and finished stretch the second week of June. Like I
Wow.
was
Okay.
like, Jesus. So these things we get about 14 and a half hours of sun during summer in June. So it's not like California, like Humboldt, where it's like 16 hours. Or like as you go north, you get a little bit
Yeah.
longer. So, what are your guys' day length during the summer? Johnny?
I think we start losing 12 around August. I want to say it's like late August we switch, and we're only getting like 12, 13 hours of light. It's late
Oh,
August, somewhere in there.
that's not
Mid August, maybe even. I don't fucking remember.
because
No, it
Um.
had to have been July.
like my latest plants went until October 20th.
Wow.
Those are the
So
last.
you can go. You can go basically. You can go super. That's not a bad season
That's
at all.
about 5. It's about 5 months. 6 if
Yeah.
you have a greenhouse. So that's why I
Right
got
on.
a greenhouse. But I have in the raised bed, I just have some cover crop growing, and I actually had a little cannabis plant pop up, a seed. So I'm gonna just leave that and see what happens. It's
Right on.
probably
That's
gonna get
always fun.
massive in the raised bed, but we'll see. But I'm really excited about
Especially, what do you,
the old timer one haze
I'm,
that I got going.
I'm excited too that you've got so many haze options, man. It's gonna be fucking super fun for us. Like, gonna be a long one for you.
Yeah. No,
But
haze
I'm
on
gonna have to
haze.
finish them
Haze for
inside. I'm
days.
gonna have to like take a cut like in like August or September and then finish it inside.
oh yeah, you're gonna need some help. But it's perfect too. The summer of haze with the Yag grow along coming up, where it's just got to have haze as the parents. You've got so many submissions you win out, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm the Super Silver Haze by TKN05 Haze is really gonna be a nice one.
oh yeah.
Colin.
That's awesome.
No, so I started to ask, what do you do for that raised bed? How do you prepare that for the year? Other than you said you got some cover crop going in it now, what do you do? What do you do when you're ready to plant?
So
And what do you
usually,
do other than the cover crop?
so in the fall I put straw down, protect the raised bed. Um, And then in the spring, I'll just put a new layer of soil or like it's soilless media, pretty much. Um, I like to mix the black gold natural and organic with Pioneer batch 64, and that's a cocoa blend, and then the black gold is a peat. And I mix those together, and then I throw in some crushed oyster shell, and then I put straw, and what else? I also put some craft blend build a soil, And then I also have some Dino Myco that I throw in there. And then, what else? Um, some vermiculite, and also I have Dr. Earth root zone, and it has like beneficial microbes like lactobacillus, what else? Glomus, enteratices, all those different kind of endomycorrhizal fungi. Um, cause or is it? No, I think it's the ectomycorrhizal. But also it has different kind of labs and stuff like that, and then also it has a little bit of kelp meal, bone meal, feather meal, stuff like that. So it's just a quick
Right on.
release top dress type thing. But I put it in there for the microbes that are in there, so and then I let it cook for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll spread that on top of the raised bed, and then it filled it up just enough to where the bed is now, because over the year it starts to compress and everything
Sag.
after
Yeah.
watering and everything like
Settle.
that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
settled. And the microbes are eating the soil because I'll like defol my plants and throw all the leaves on there, and then I also top dress different with the Doctor Earth dry amendments, and then also the craft blend, and also I get some of the compost that I make and I throw that on there as well. So
That's a
yeah,
supercharged bed right there. I love it.
Hell yeah, that's so
yeah,
Nice.
impressive.
I might not even have to feed this year.
Yeah, jeez, that's gonna be sick.
But yeah, I'm just trying to build living soil. It's like whenever I put the all of the um compost that I made in the raised bed, because I built the raised bed out of some reclaimed 4x4s that I gotten on a job when I worked doing landscaping. But now I do grounds maintenance. But gotta have a
Gonna be
side
good on the
job
back. Yeah.
now. But yeah, so do all that. Yeah, no, it's nice. I like having all the different kind of organic additives and inputs. The more you can put, the better. I'm also making like Jadam liquid fertilizer out of cannabis leaves from last year. I started making that last year.
Perfect.
Pretty much just leaves, and I also put leaf mold in there as well. And then you just let it soak as long as possible, and then over time it ferments, and native microbes that were on the leaf surface and also from the air, because you leave it open for
Hmm.
like a month or so, and then you close it up, and then it just builds up the microbe population. And also, as those microbes break it down, it actually makes it more rich and stronger, so you need to use less.
Hmm.
So that's why I
It's
started doing the ferments,
hell yeah, dude. It's
because I
great
don't
stuff.
really
Now,
do much
now
else
what
with
do
them.
your
Are
do you
you
ever
gonna?
send
Sorry.
your soil out for any sampling or anything? Or are you just trusting that you're doing a good mix of greens and browns and
Yeah,
etc.?
I try to keep all the greens and brown levels in check. You don't want it to get too wet and anaerobic in the compost. Sorry, I had to plug my phone in. It's about to die. But yeah, so you don't want too much nitrogen containing inputs in the compost, because then it becomes anaerobic, and then the ammonia levels rise, and then it smells like ammonia. And then you have to let it dry out and then mix it and everything. So you want to keep your levels of green to brown materials about 30, 1 to 30 or 30 to 1.
So you just go based off the way the plant looks, and you don't send it
Yeah.
ever away to
Yeah,
be
no,
tested.
I
Yeah.
don't do a lab or anything. This year I
Right on.
might. I might try and send a soil sample in and get it checked by the lab. But no, I just go by the look of the plants. I mean, last year I didn't have any deficiencies in the plants besides the ones in the pots. Had a little bit of issues, like towards the end. I had this sativa that was just going crazy. Which the whole nomenclature of indica and sativa nowadays, I mean, it's an argument.
Yeah, I think we've I mean, I used to think it was, everyone does think it was means something more than it does, but I think we've tried to move to the nomenclature of more narrow leaf because Alabrije, but even then, I mean, some people that's just the way that you're going to get them to understand, man. There's no point in fighting it.
Oh yeah. No, it's I prefer to use the words cannabis and narrow leaf and
Hmm.
broadleaf and all that stuff. 'Cause the whole marijuana phrase comes from a racist background. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, with the whole Henry Anslinger and everything back in the 30s. So
Yep. There's all kinds of. I mean, a lot of the words that we use have some terrible, terrible connotations in the past, but
oh
it's
yeah,
best not to think on it.
I say
I
them.
had a question and I totally forgot it, which is something that a podcast host should never fucking admit on the podcast. It makes for great radio.
But
Fuck.
this isn't
This
any
is the
old
average.
podcast. This is the averagest most
Yeah.
podcast you can get.
Fuck.
Uh, this is my
Oh no.
first time. This is my
Where
Oh,
the
first
hell
time.
else would they let two ginger beards talk to each
I
other
know.
in public?
It's actually forbidden in most of the world. It's amazing that we've
Oh
been able to
no.
do it. No, what I wanted to ask is, I wanted to get into your class that you're teaching May 1st.
Oh yeah.
In I don't know where because, to be honest with you, I can barely remember the cities around me. What was the city? Where was the class?
So it's up in Los Alamos, New Mexico. It'll be at Project Y on May 1st. If you go to the ladailypost.com, they post in the newspaper. I'm working with the local dispensary to do these classes with two other people. The owner of the dispensary actually did a Q&A, and then I'm teaching the class, and then there's another guy teaching the class, and then a woman teaching the class. So I'm doing the introduction to organic cannabis growing, and then let
Hell
me
yeah!
see, and then the other people are doing hold on, regenerative biodynamic growing and environmental friendly cannabis cultivation. So,
Oh, that sounds like
um,
an awesome fucking class, dude. All of those
yeah,
classes sound great.
and I just got my business license and everything set up, so now I'm legit a
Oh
legal
no!
state company. So I get to pay
Well,
taxes.
yeah, I know that's how the benefit. Unfortunately, now that you're legit, you won't want anything to do with us.
Oh no, oh no,
We've
not
already ruined
anymore.
your reputation of your new business.
That's,
Don't let us shout it out.
that's terrible. You guys are great. Like, I love talking to you guys. You guys have helped me out a lot. I enjoy listening to you guys. You and Cultivation Conversation.
They're great people. We appreciate you being around because you are our go-to all things outdoor. Um, I've pretty much programmed my brain now when someone asks me an outdoor question to just recommend you. So it's made my life tremendously easier.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for being our go-to guy.
Yes, sir.
I hope we're not too annoying.
No, hope not. Nope.
Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Did we lose him? Good. We can edit out all his fucking compliments.
Let's
No,
see if he comes.
Oh,
I'm
there we go.
still
There
here.
he is. Now we got him.
There we go.
Sorry.
Golden. That's all good. It was okay. We didn't need to hear compliments about us anyway.
No,
But
you
yeah,
guys are great though. I'm here to help, and I enjoy helping people. And that's why I'm doing the whole preservation thing because land race like intrigued me. Like I want. I want to see every expression of cannabis I can. I want to preserve as much diversity as possible. Because over the last 20, 30 years, we've bottlenecked the hell out of everything. And
Yes,
now
we
it's all
have.
cookies. But I still enjoy cookies, though. I like Burner's music and stuff. But I know that's controversial and everything. But no, like, it's the
Everybody's
plant.
entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And the plant brings us together as people, and we wouldn't be
Exactly.
doing this today if it wasn't for the
Yeah, amen. And
Fair enough point.
as long as you don't have evil intentions, I think anybody can get along. You look at so many people that you don't think would ever associate together because of just this plant or the hobby. It's one of the rare hobbies where you don't have to have a natural gift to get into it, right? Like if you're
plant.
4'1", you're not going to go try out for your starting center of your local basketball team and pick that up as your hobby, right? You need some kind of coordination or something at the very least. But even if you can't, I bet you if you no matter your disability or if you can be somewhat active, I bet you there's workarounds and there's people willing to help you. So it's one of the strange hobbies where even if you suck at it, people are like, "Hey man, let's get you way better."
Exactly. Like you
It's
gotta help
very
people out, and not just like criticize the grow technique or oh your plants look like crap. Like no, you don't do that. You help them.
exactly.
You ask them if they
Ego
need
death.
help, and
Ego
maybe
death,
yeah. Like
something that you also
somebody.
know very well about.
Oh no, I've never had an ego death. I do like to grow mushrooms as well. Um, but
You
I
haven't
only
gone hero dose?
no, I haven't, I haven't taken that much, but.
Nah.
I
Well,
got like 9 grams in the cloud or in the cupboard that's just like talking and stuff. Maybe one of these
I
days.
I
Hey.
pr- I preach that if you can at one time in your life, you must achieve ego death, dude.
Oh, definitely. Like I want to just be able to change my perception of everything because it's the only way to change. Like I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
people. It's hard for people to change sometimes, but it doesn't mean like you can't.
if you spend your whole life without changing, you did it wrong. Like if you don't update or change your opinions, man, like the things that I thought at 18, if I still thought, I would be a fucking horrible person.
Exactly.
Like I would, if you don't look back at your past you sometimes and go, man, I'd beat the shit out of that kid. Like,
Oh, like whenever I was like using and like I was homeless for like 2, 3 years, like before I
Mhm.
came to New Mexico, and I was only, I mean, I started using heroin when I was 17,
Fuck, dude.
and I started taking pills when I was 15, because that's why I
Yeah,
started selling flour was because to support the addiction, but if I wouldn't have gone down that path, I wouldn't be here now. That's how I look at it.
amen.
We wouldn't be
Every
here growing these beautiful plants and helping one another and doing this badass podcast.
all of it except for the end, I agree with my friend. It is a wonderful plant for bringing us all together. In fact, I think what you said was admirable, and you were one of the few people I know that says and backs up what they believe because you are all about preservations and helping and very similar mindset. But it's time for Johnny to ask you the most important questions of this podcast. The growing shit, who fucking cares, right? No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
waiting for the.
Everybody's here for the Apple questions.
Yeah. Nope. Wait,
I
wait,
think you've already.
wait. I fucked it up already. The
Oh, what?
pizza shit. I
Oh yeah,
forgot to
you
ask,
started
dude.
a new
I
one.
was
It's
supposed to.
your
I
question.
know. I'm a
I
fucking
forgot about.
idiot. All right, dude. You go into get a piece of, a slice of pizza. Cheese or pepperoni?
I have to go with
Amen, dude. All right. That'll be
that.
2 to. That's 2-1
You
right
know,
now.
I'll help you out.
Thank
I
you. Brother. I need all the help I can
I
get.
do like pineapple though. I prefer
That's
pineapple and Canadian bacon.
That's okay.
Take your
That's not in
time.
the
Take
conversation.
your time.
I
We're
stop
just talking
expanding.
about
Yeah,
walking in to get a
yeah,
slice.
just to
We're
get in
just
this side.
talking about stopping in. You're getting a fucking Pepsi and a slice of.
You've got $2.50, and that's what a soda and a
Yep.
slice cost. Probably not anymore, but it did at one point.
$5 for a slice,
I'm,
bro. What are you
I'm
talking
remembering fondly. Okay,
about? Oh, it's like
I don't want to weep.
$10.
Yeah, it's like $10, and you got to sign up for a monthly subscription. Um,
Dude, the
yeah, so
item
it's that.
prices are crazy unless you have chicken.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say, but yeah, so
Beans are ridiculous.
that's 2-1 for the good guys, Johnny. We'll see if you can come back in the next guest. But let's get into the real questions and not some bullshit that I literally just started to piss off Johnny.
Well, I think he's already answered the first one here. What's the first seed you ever planted, and why was it an apple seed?
Actually, I might have. I remember doing some like seeds in like kindergarten, but I don't remember what they are. So I'll just go with the cannabis seed when I was 15.
There you go. I bet you
But I
those
have tried
those
to
seeds.
sprout apple seeds that I usually just bite into an apple and there's a seed popping in there already sometimes. But
I can't imagine apples would grow well in the New Mexico desert.
oh, actually they do. They actually do very well up here. Same with
Really?
pears and plums. A
Oh
lot
wait,
of
I should know that
the fruit
because there's a
trees like
fucking.
the cold weather.
Yeah,
Like
I was gonna say
apricots
because
have
there's.
to have like a couple hundred, like 200 or like 100 and something days of cold before they'll like produce fruit like at
That's
a good
crazy.
rate or something. That's what
I
they
should
say.
have remembered that.
They
There's a
have
city
frost
out in
on.
California called Julian that is famous for its apples, and that's in the desert. So I guess I can't put two to two together. But yeah,
There's a lot
moving
of
on.
pistachio orchards like down south actually too.
Mm-hmm. Pistachios are
Right
dope.
on.
And chili. They grow a lot of chili and cotton too, like down south, southern New Mexico.
Well, you
That's
guys are
where all the
famous for your
green chili
chilies,
is.
right?
Yeah, the green chili is actually really good. Like
Yeah.
they put it on everything out here. It's crazy.
Do they put it on pie?
No, but it's
Well, what's
on.
your favorite pie, and why is it apple?
I actually love apple pie. I love the Dutch
Ooh,
apple.
a Dutch apple pie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, a la mode.
Yeah, I like ice cream. Big old scoop of vanilla bean ice cream.
Ooh, hell yeah.
I got a cherry pie in the freezer.
Right on.
Well, what about fruit? What's your favorite fruit, and why is it
Fruit.
apple?
So I hate apples actually, but I do
There's
like
so many.
grape.
It's got to be
What
half and
the
half on
fuck?
people who love
I
apple
like
pies
I
and
love
fucking hate
I know.
apples.
I love
Oh,
grapefruit, but I can't eat them like I used to
oh,
because they actually have drug interactions because they stop an
that's
enzyme in the
right.
liver.
Yeah. So if
So
you
it
take
can affect heart medication, benzos, and opiates.
ah, yeah, you're not supposed to take it with grapefruit juice. I know that BGG will be very excited because you two have both said grapefruit.
Yeah, and then I eat a lot of oranges and mandarin oranges. I like blood
Nice.
oranges a lot.
Look at that citrus. You're
Yeah, well, I'm
victorious.
from, dude, they
That's
grow
right.
it.
I'm telling you. He's got a red beard and he's from California by the beach. It's like
Yeah,
looking into a mirror, except for I have slightly more hair.
where are you? Or,
I don't wear
driving?
clothes, so they won't let me do videos anymore. They could
Okay.
Johnny won't let me record with a camera
Oh,
anymore.
you're the one that gets all weird. Like you don't have a shirt on, and you're like, oh fuck it, this is so weird. I don't have a shirt on. I'm out of here.
I don't care if you're
I
a
don't want you
Chinese
assholes staring at my
employee.
nipples.
I was told that to do because for one of the circle recordings, they were like, "Do the video," and I was like, "I don't wear clothes that I don't have to," and they're like, "No, just put a shirt on," and I was like, "I ain't putting no
I
shirt
gotta
on."
see your face. I don't show my face ever. Not on anything.
There you go. See,
Oh, there he is. Look at that beard. That's nice.
I got my hair back too, like a loser.
I'm
Um,
looking
Dude, you
good.
look just like your logo. You were right dead smack in the middle there. Your logo went away. I couldn't even tell the difference. Even your logo has red hair. I just noticed that.
You
it's a
just need to
bandana, but yeah,
you need to redo your
Oh, is
logo
it
with
the
a red
bandana?
beard though.
yeah. That would be pretty fucking funny. It would be dope.
So, Redbeard, why don't you hit us with a sermon? Oh, wait, we got to do the fucking. Why don't you plug yourself, man? Stir fry.
Oh
We
yeah,
appreciate
dude.
you coming.
Give us all the
So
details.
I have a Discord server which I've posted a link in your guys' Discord and the plug yourself.
Yeah,
I
it's in the
also
Canaverse.
yes, and then I'm also on Instagram at Sterfiregentics, and then social club at stirfry_genetics. Um, and then yeah, if anybody needs help with anything or interested in any landrace genetics or trading or whatever, I'm down for whatever. Thank you guys for having me on. This is my
Oh, thank
first
you for being on.
podcast. I don't talk to many people, so if I've messed up a little bit, I apologize.
Oh, don't worry about it. This show is a mess
Ah,
up.
man, you were
You
fantastic. It
were
was
I
a fucking great
great, dude.
probably
episode.
sound I probably sound slow as shit. It's not the weed, I promise. I
Well, you did just smoke a giant can of cigar.
didn't
Um,
I have to
oh,
go
you
outside.
did. You one huffed that motherfucker. It was impressive. If anybody asked, it was just one take. Uh, Big Chief and
No.
like Mac.
I gotta go
Yeah, no.
and transplant those seedlings but
Yeah, you got more work to do. I'll give you a quick sermon that you inspired because I liked when he started talking about this plant brings everyone together, and it's a good reason to do preservations and make sure everybody can grow everything. But one of the best things about it, and I think you'll agree, is you've been in recovery a long time, and I'm coming up on a year and a half not drinking, but
right.
ju- thanks, just doing something in the garden
Oh
is enough
definitely.
sometimes.
You
So
gotta
this week
stay
I just
tuned.
yeah, this week all I want you guys to do is just try and either do something in the garden and center yourself or just create something new. If you can do those things, I'll absolve you of all your bullshit sins. Don't be a dick, mind your own business, and go with Frog.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and
Thanks for
thanks for
listening.
joining us, Stir
Thank you
Fry.
guys.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Have a good evening.
Peace.
Peace.